In the end, you can take it, but you have to pass through all. As you're told in Scripture, I have tried you in the furnaces of affliction. For my own sake I did it, for my own sake. For how should my name be profaned? My glory I will not give to another. And glory is himself. He cannot give himself to another. He has to make you himself, to give himself to you. Because there is only God. In the end, there is only God. Everything in the end is God. And there's nothing but God. So here, you are trained not to argue. When someone brings up all the stories concerning Scripture, you are trained to answer. And you can confront them, even though you have not had the complete experience. Many of you have had many of these experiences. Not the complete, all right. You will have the complete. I am not alone. I am only at the moment one who has been sent to tell it. I've been sent to tell it. So that 7th chapter of Daniel, when the one like the Son of Man came before the Ancient of Days and was presented to him, that happened to me in 1929. I was taken in spirit into the divine assembly, and having gone before the recording angel, where my name was checked off, there was a huge ledger, as told you in the 12th chapter of Daniel. Here, if your name be written in the book, well, everyone's name is in that book. And she simply looked at me, this angelic being. Not one word was spoken between us. She just looked and just made a check against the name. Then I was taken into the presence of the Ancient of Days. He is the Ancient of Days. Infinite love, nothing but love. As I stood before him, you can't think of anything but love. And he asked me, what is the greatest thing in the world? And I answered, love. You have no other answer. How could you answer anything when you're actually looking at infinity of love? And it's man, just man. Then he embraced me. And that embrace refused. We became one body. And he who is united to the Lord becomes one spirit with him. One body, one spirit, one Lord, one God and Father of all. When he sent me. Sent me into this world. But he didn't send me as love. The one who sent me was himself, because God is a protean being. He assumes every shape. And the one who sent me was infinite power. I could not feel in him compassion at all. I could not feel in that one love. But he sent me. And the words rang out in my ears, done with the blue blood. Doesn't mean those who call themselves prominent socially know. All that trivia anyway. Done with all church protocol. All the trappings of the outside world mean nothing. They mean nothing. All the ceremonies, all the rituals, all the things on the outside, done with it all. Don't tear it down, but do not become a part of it. Just completely ignore it. Well, I can't tell you how many opportunities I have had from those who are entrenched in the protocol of churches to join them. I didn't have to go to any school. They said, I will now ordain you now. Then you can do all the things that we do by law. You can marry, you can bury, you can do all these things. I said, no part of it. These words ringing out in my ears, and I would simply disobey the order, down with the blue blood, which means church protocol, and accept the offer. One chap, he had an audience of over 6,000 people. That is, they're all registered, all contributed every month, and he offered that entirely whole thing to me, if I would take it. I said, I'm sorry, I cannot take it. Give it to someone else, but I cannot take it. I have orders that I must obey. And it came from the Ancient of Days. Well, he couldn't understand that. Ancient of days, these are just words to the average preacher. They mean nothing. They're simply idle words, and yet every word is true in Scripture. Here saying the ancient of days, no father, no mother, no beginning. The ancient of days, he has no origin, and you stand before him, and he actually embraces you, and you become one now without father, because you are the Father. And as Father, you have no father. You are the Father. Now go and done with the blue blood, done with all churchianity, all external things in this world. So no inducement whatsoever could get me to join any ism. Now at the end of my days, it doesn't really matter. At least I kept the faith. So I could say with Paul, I have finished the race. I have fought the good fight. And I've kept the faith. Now there's laid up for me the crown of righteousness, which means the crown of faith. I've kept the faith.